Hi guys, my name is Miss Yoba and you're welcome to the channel. So before we move to the channel to see what people have to say, please subscribe, like, share to help the video out. Thank
Did y'all just hear that Africa said that they are included in the African Americans reparations? So apparently Africa and the African Union this 2025, they basically told America that they are leading the that they are leading the cause for reparations for African countries and people affected by slavery. So basically, they found out that African Americans have 1.7 trillion in spending power, right? That means collectively, we got the bag. Collectively, we got the bag. That of which we already knew. We didn't have to shout it from the rooftops, and we damn sure didn't need anybody else clocking our bag. And now it's at the point where the African Union is working with America and top American officials to both colonize the African American culture, but also to receive reparations. Did you know that they have now, the African Union have now been in talks with America about us, African Americans, being their property? Back when Big Pooh with the Loose said that he was going to pew pew America, and I told y'all, oh, don't worry, they sending boats around to come pick us up. That was why. Remember when I said that they consider us Africa's property? That was why. That was why them boats was going to be here. Because they consider us Africa's property, which means that Africa and the African Union is now fighting America for our fucking reparations that they didn't even help. You know how fucking delusional you gotta be to be trying to destiny swap with the same people your ancestors literally helped sell into slavery. Y'all literally caused it. Had you not what was the theme of the Sinners movie? What was the theme? You are the only person standing in between the demon getting in and out of your home. You are the ones opening up the door, the threshold. You have to invite them in order for them to come in and do that shit to you. Had you not invited those colonizers in there, they would have not only not sold us, but also, because wait a minute, they did turn around and put the people that were in power in shackles. They said, well, we're done with them. We also want you too. And whoever was left over was just left over after the abolishment of the transatlantic slave trade. Do you know how insane you have to be to think that you are entitled to some money that does not historically belong to you? Knowing good and goddamn well it had nothing to do with you. You may have been impacted by the slave trade, but the reparations that this country owes us is not because of the actual slave trade where it started. It is because of what has been done to us as we were here in this country. If you did not help build this country on your backs, if you have not been here, if you have not been shooting with us in the gym, you should not have your grubby, nasty ass hands out asking for money on our behalf. And the worst part about it is, but African America, they doing it right under your nose. That is why people feel some type of way about what's going on at Essence Fest. That is why we feel some type of way about y'all continuously trying to claim that we don't have any culture. And then the first opportunity you get to try and capitalize off of our culture, you got your hand out looking for something. You got your hand out looking for something, constantly wanting to be the center of attention, constantly wanting to be the how do I put it? The one that everybody wants to be around. The one that everybody wants to be a part of. The one that everybody wants to pour money into or steal from. Golly, it is fucking exhausting being an African American. It really be your own people. Because when I tell you the hate comes from every single angle of the diaspora, and then to then turn around and think that you have the opportunity to eat off of our reparations is insane. I don't give a damn what money America gives to y'all. That shit ain't ours. That don't have African Americans' name on it. When we separated, we had to build our own cultures. We had to take some of our, our historical culture that was passed down to us back when our ancestors was in Africa, and we had to make something new of it. It's just the audacity to me, because I vividly remember the majority of my life being told by people from across seas and being on the internet and hearing people consistently try to undermine, undervalue, and to consistently try to tear down Black African Americans and what we contribute to this world, but then got your hand out looking for our reparations. That's insane. Are you not embarrassed? You should be embarrassed. That is insane to me. Also, bitch, we are not your motherfucking property. Have you lost your motherfucking mind? You know what? You gonna end up finding out. African Union gonna end up fucking around and finding out the way that these white folks gotta find out every other day. We are not your property. The fuck is wrong with you?
Black Americans. Today we're going to talk about Mama Africa, Pan-Africanism, and her progeny trying to scam Black Americans, the sleeper cells, trying to disenfranchise Black Americans and steal Black Americans' birthrights, claiming Black Americans as dependents to get some type of refund to build Africa. What's really going on? See, Black Americans, this is a grand scheme by Mama Africa to disenfranchise you. Let's start from the top. So we have discovered that the African Union has some shenanigans going on, trying to claim Black Americans with fake goals of reparations. Only come to find out that they just want you to build Africa, to make you politically African, to center African business in the minds of Black Americans. We read what's going on. That's from the top. There are different levels. There are different levels of agents of chaos, sleeper cells, wicked progeny, vampiric progeny. Listen, at the bottom, the wicked progeny, they don't know what's going on. They're sleeper cells. I'm going to give you an example. Have you had some type of family altercation, some type of family beef? Let's say you don't like someone in your family because you overheard elders in your family saying something about someone. And you don't know it to be true, but they've been saying this, so they kind of warped your mind to think badly about someone. Those are the sleeper cells. Some of them are conscious and subconscious of what their mission is. So oftentimes with these sleeper cells, you see them over here undermining you. Black Americans, you don't have a culture. Where are you really from? You're immigrants now. They never respected your identity because they were sent over here to benefit from you, to destiny swap. Some of them are aware of this and some of them are not aware of this. Think of all the things immigrants have been saying to you over the years, all your life. The vitriol some of these immigrants, Black immigrants, have for Black Americans. Think about these things. Now, above that, there's another tier. There's a tier of Black immigrants who get into, let's say, places of power as far as having a business, and they only hire their own, and they lock Black Americans out of said business. That's one tier. There's another tier where Black immigrants get into power politically, and they go against you, Black Americans. They halt your reparations. They vote against you getting reparations. They came over here to stop you from excelling, to destiny swap. Above them, there's another tier of immigrants like Rich Lou, Dennis, and that Kenyan lady at Essence. You see, Rich Lou, Dennis, got on the Breakfast Club, and he's talked about Essence. And he said it's still Black American centered. He lied. Because we read the article, Essence editor saying Nigeria everywhere, global Blackness, centering Nigeria as the focal point. They used the word focal point. These are Essence editors. So how is that centering Black Americans? He said he wants to incorporate other cultures, but it's centered around Black Americans. That's not what Essence editors said. Did we read that? Do you remember what the article said? Making Nigeria the focal point, like a mecca for culture, trying to make Nigeria the end all be all of culture, something that was created for Black Americans. I want you to see how all of this works hand in hand to destiny swap. Is it making sense? There are people at all different levels trying to stop Black Americans, trying to destiny swap. You can see from the top, They want to claim your reparations. They want to disenfranchise you and get you to build Africa. Rich Lou Dennis, what is that woman name? Caroline Wenga. They want to incorporate African themes. You see, because Nigeria and Africa and all these other countries in Africa, they don't get a lot of light. So we want to take the light from Black Americans because we want to make Nigeria the focal point. We want to make Africa the focal point because Black Americans are too mainstream. The most popular Black culture, highly exported and imported culture there is. So let's make Africa the center point. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Caroline Wenga had a video talking about slavery that her family was a part of in Kenya and how Kenyans try to keep it on a hush-hush. Who are we putting in power to come over here and speak for Black Americans? The African Union tried to speak on Black Americans' behalf, and Black Americans never gave you that power. Black Americans didn't know anything about it. Why is that? I remember some months ago, I can't remember the article all the way, but some of you guys know because you're brilliant. There was something about President Joe Biden and Africa and reparations. And Black Americans were saying, hey, well, what they got to do with reparations? Immigrants were so upset with you because they didn't have access to the 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship that they were calling you immigrants now. This is about destiny swapping. Are you understanding what's going on? Oh, do you remember the Met Gala? The whole dandyism thing? Celebrating the fashions of Black Americans and Africans was like, we're dandies too. Why aren't we being celebrated? They're always trying to co-opt everything that's for you. African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants are now saying that they're Black American and African American when they know that's a nuanced ethnicity. So if they're African American and Black American, what are you? Who are the people who are the foundation? Who paved the way? Do you see what's going on? Want to incorporate their music in our festivities, knowing in their households in the United States of America, they grow up with their music and their culture. Some of their family migrate here and bring their culture, and they get to go back home and fully engulf themselves in their culture. But however, Black Americans have to share the culture people say you don't have, but they're begging to be a part of it. They're starting to say, why are you trying to make a distinction between Black Americans and Caribbeans and Africans? Why not? Why are you trying so hard to be Black American? Is there an issue? They're saying Black Americans and Africans look alike. Is that what you want to happen? And is that how you feel? That people see us alike? Because when you look alike and they get to say that they're Black American, African American, they benefit. They can't benefit when you delineate. Do you understand? The destiny swapping is being the same, merging identities, merging their cultures into your events, into your historic events, taking over Black American History Month. So now when you have children, your Black American progeny, when they go to school and they start talking about Black American heroes, it's now African and Caribbean heroes in the variable of the United States of America that you built. That's not anything that's exclusive to Black Americans now. That's world Black history. So now you're taking away from Black Americans, cultural encroachment. We've seen people in the UK using the term soul food, Caribbeans and Africans, knowing that that term was created by Black Americans. Yes, your food can be good for the soul, but that term is Black American. And then you say we don't have a culture when you want to steal it. Everything they're doing is disenfranchising the identity of Black Americans. Everything is unfolding. Black Americans have been putting everyone on notice. But when you put people on notice, they say you're xenophobic because they want to cosplay as Black Americans to benefit. And it's coming from Mama Africa herself on all different tiers working against you. Africa, year of the return, always summoning Black Americans, harping, focusing solely on Black Americans. Now, I'm not saying other Black people aren't called upon, but they always center this lostness, this narrative around Black Americans. Now, the least amount of Africans came to what is now known as the USA. About 4% of Africans, the majority of them went to the Caribbean and to Brazil. So why are they always focusing on Black Americans? Is it because you are the most powerful? Why don't they focus on where the majority of Africa's, Mama Africa's progeny went? Why are they always trying to lure Black Americans to Africa when the least amount of Africans, if you're going with that narrative, came to the USA? Very interesting. And then I remember when Dr. Umar Johnson went over there and he got citizenship, when they always invite people over there, there's always white people and non-Black people going there to get citizenship. So they phrase it as if it's about Black people going home. But it's not just Black people, which proves it's a money grab to build up Africa. Do you understand what's going on? It's a scheme, a Ponzi scheme. It has to be stopped. It has to be addressed. Do you see? Am I making sense? You never tell the left hand what the right hand is doing. So that's kind of like the analogy about the different tiers. Some Africans and maybe even Caribbeans, they know what's going on, and some of them are just sleeper cells. So let's talk about the sleeper cells. Have you seen videos of Africans when they say they come to the United States of America, but they know nothing about the transatlantic slave trade? So how are you African and you don't know anything about the transatlantic slave trade? They say they never heard a story like that in their countries. Many of them say this. I've even heard some Africans say that before they get here to the United States of America, they're in this waiting room and they're briefing them about Black Americans, and some of the higher ups, some of the higher ups are telling them, don't talk to Black Americans. Their own folks, elders, are telling them don't talk to Black Americans when they get here. The sleeper cells. On all different levels, these people are working against you consciously and subconsciously. And the sleeper cells are waking up more than ever. So you start to see the sleeper cells on the FYP page, on social media, in real life, saying that Black Americans protecting their culture is division. We could never go to their lands and talk to the locals, talk to the natives there, the indigenous, because there's indigenous people everywhere, and say, hey, you cannot protect your culture, your lineage, and your history. Matter of fact, I am what you are, because they come here and they say that they're Black American and African American. Can you imagine going to Nigeria and saying, hey, I'm Nigerian? No, you are a Black American in Nigeria. You're not Nigerian. Do you see how silly and ridiculous that sounds? But they get to do that with you because they create this narrative of lostness. Let's fix the lost ones, but the majority of them went to the islands, went to Brazil. So how are you lost when you have the most popular culture that everyone looks up to? And when I say everyone, I mean white people, Asian people, dark Indian people, not just Black people. How are you lost? Is it making sense? It truly sickens me every time people say that Black Americans and all Black people are the same, when it's just simply untrue. Africans don't sing like Black Americans. We don't dance the same dance. We don't eat the same foods. Politically, we are not the same because of the variables we live in. We're in the United States of America. We have different birthrights here. The 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship, i.e. why a lot of you are getting deported. It doesn't involve you. The laws here in the United States of America, we are embedded in the laws. What are you talking about? We are embedded in the laws. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing about Black Americans and all Black people around the world are the same. What makes us the same? That white people treat us the same? So your identity is based upon how white people view you? You understand what I'm saying? Through the gaze of white people, we're all the same, so we're the same. But in Africa, Nigerians and Ghanaians aren't the same. That's why Ghanaians are kicking Nigerians out of Ghana. No one's talking about that. Why did Jamaica turn away Haiti? Why did the African Union turn away Haiti? But we're all the same. The lies are over. The truth is out. Pan-Africanism is gone.
I don't think we should start the dysphoria war that there's a phonetical difference between African Americans and Africans. I don't think we should start that. I don't think we should do that. I think we should put this topic to bed. I think we should tuck it the fuck in, roll it the fuck up, put it in the trunk, bury that bitch, all right? And then flood it and turn it into a lake and never touch it again. Because I don't know if I feel like this is not we shouldn't be having some conversations in public spaces. We shouldn't be having some conversations at all, but damn sure not on this clock app. Because I think it's pointless. Why do I think it's a pointless conversation? Why do I think it's a stupid conversation? Because when ICE starts rounding up Haitians, do you really think they're going to go up to him and be like, hey, what do you think, Tom? Does he look Haitian to you? You know, because I saw on TikTok they were talking like, you know, Haitian noses look different than African-American noses. I think by the width of his bridge, that's an African-American you can go. Or do you think they're just going to round you up because skin color? Do you see why? Why are we doing this? Why? The word is escaping me currently. But it's a thing they did like way back in the day when, you know, slavery was legal. You see what I'm saying? They would be, you know, remember in Django when he said, look at the back of the skull and you see how it has like 3 little bumps? That's how you know it's this African-American skull, because, you know, that, you see what I'm saying? I don't know the word. There's a fancy word for it, but I feel like what y'all are doing is along the same lines of that. Somebody who know what the hell I'm talking about, put the word in the comments if you know what the word I'm trying to say is. But like a long time ago, you see what I'm saying? They use science to sit and say black people stupid. You see what I'm saying? They use science to say like, you see why they noses is this way? Because they're stupid. Because it's so they breathe. That's why their lungs are bigger, because their nostrils are bigger. Like, you see how stupid I sound? Like, that's how stupid y'all sound. Because at the end of the day, to everybody else, All of you look black. You just look black. They don't give a fuck if you're Somali. They don't give a fuck if you're Ghanaian. They don't give a fuck if you're African American. All they gonna say when they start rounding all y'all black asses up is, that's a nigger. That's a nigger. About to be a motherfucking rant, so hold on. Africans, come to the motherfucking front. There is no way in hell y'all gonna sit y'all ass at any kind of council, any kind of union, any kind of convention and state that y'all deserve reparations. Have y'all lost y'all entire fucking minds? You are not finna co-op anything that black people in America, descendants of slavery, descendants of chattel slavery, have gone through. The only motherfuckers that's gonna get goddamn reparations is us. Matter of fact, y'all need to be paying us reparations for actually selling us off and being part of that shit. I really think y'all off y'all fucking rockers. Just because you came to America does not mean you deserve reparations. Y'all sounding like white folks at this goddamn point. I swear black folks can't have shit. And I mean African Americans, not fucking Africans. The disrespect, the level of disrespect that y'all have for us and what our ancestors have gone through is baffling. You don't deserve reparations. If your ass was born in Africa and you came here for a better life due to us getting our civil rights and opening the door for us, you don't deserve shit. You got what you needed. You got a fucking green card. You got a visa. You brought your family over here. Good for you. But that's where the fuck the bus stops at. Try that shit if y'all want to. Y'all gonna really see some fucking division. Y'all need to start figuring out how y'all gonna pay African Americans reparations right along with white folks in this country. That's what y'all asses need to do. Y'all done ran up my goddamn blood pressure.
These countries are fighting over black Americans and nobody can tell me otherwise. Trump saying birthright citizenship was only for black Americans. You all call him a businessman. What do businessmen do? Go for the people who make him the most money, correct? Then a while back, this guy, he's from the Asian community, and he was basically saying how the Asians and black Americans need to come together. When there's literally Africans, there's Caribbean. Y'all have so many selections, but you all choose the black Americans. Now I'm hearing that Africa, the year of the return was for us to go back and to invest into the continent, not for us to come back to just, come back home. It was to invest. I saw that they're trying to use the black American dollar to build up Africa. Now, I saw a lot of videos of people talking about Essence Fest and, Red Lobster and how they're moving into those spaces, and that's what they're using the money for. I just don't understand why the people who were sold in the slave trade literally have to help the people who had a dealing with the slave trade. And what's even more messed up about this, I was looking at a young man's post. He's from Ghana. He was talking about how there was a fire that broke out. There's a market in Ghana that's very popular. And they said that they were putting water down, but it was actually gasoline. People smelled it. All of a sudden, the market burned down. And then they said the next day, that's when they granted citizenship to black people, mainly black Americans. And this is just my personal opinion, but I just feel like it's messed up because you're basically destroying how they make their money for people that's going to make you money. You're looking at your own pockets. You're not even looking at your own citizenship. Your own citizens. Why the fuck would we go there? You're treating them like shit.